Hello students, welcome to online classes. My name is Bhargavi. I am working in Sanjeev College of Arts and Sciences, Department of Physics. Today in this session we are going to discuss about Unit 4 Part 2, that is Lesson 2 in Unit 4. So we have three topics in that is first one coupled oscillator, second one two coupled oscillator, and third one n coupled oscillator. So first of all we will learn about coupled oscillator. So what is coupled oscillator? The definition is if two oscillators are connected in such way that motion of both the oscillators depend upon each other, this system is called coupled oscillator. So here what is oscillator? So it can oscillate, that is pendulum. So pendulum can oscillate. So if we take two pendulums, in between the spring is attached in between them, so if we apply force they came into motion. In which way the motion is? Way that the motion of both the oscillators depend upon each other. Okay, it will depend upon each pendulums. So this system is known as coupled oscillator. Let us say example one here. I took only one oscillator, so it can oscillate easily. But in second diagram I took two pendulums and it is attached with the spring in the middle. So what is this diagram? Two pendulums connected by the spring. Example 2 is then two pendulums are connected in series, and example 3 is connected in parallel. Okay, either series or parallel we can connect. The example 4 is LC coupled circuits. So here I took C1 and C2. I didn't mention C2. So this example is known as LC coupled circuits. That is two coupled circuits here. Next one. So this is the introduction here. What is the coupled oscillator and examples of coupled oscillator. Then we are going to second topic, that is two coupled oscillators equation of motion. So the equation of motion of two coupled oscillators. So two coupled oscillator means again we are taking two pendulums and it is attached with the spring in the middle. So here we can see diagram. I took the string length is L and the mass of the pendulum is M, and pendulum 1 and pendulum 2. Here we are taking two pendulums, that's why I am indicating P1 and P2. Then we used a spring here, so the spring constant is K. Here what is L here? Length of the string. K is spring's constant. P1 and P2 are two pendulums. M is mass of the pendulum. Okay, if we apply force to this two coupled oscillators, then it will come into this motion, that is second direction. So second diagram, that is pendulum 1 and pendulum 2, it will come into motion. So it is depend with each other. So this can change displacement, right? X1 and X2, what are the X1 and X2 here? Displacements of the pendulum. Okay, next line is forces on a pendulum but not coupled. We are taking only one pendulum here. So if we take one pendulum, then it will become in motion. Here we are taking that only one pendulum, that is angle is theta here and L is the length of the string, and pendulums there is string but there is tension in spring, right? So that is we are taking mg cos theta, mg sin theta and theta. So these three we are taken. So next equation is T is tension. We are writing the equation here. T means tension minus mg means weight and cos theta is equal to 0. The total equation becomes like this: T minus mg cos theta is equal to 0. Okay, next. So in this pendulum we have forces. Okay, let us see what is the first force here. We are taking the restoring force. Restoring force is equal to mg sin theta. That means we taken mg cos theta and mg sin theta. So in before equation we used mg cos theta. Now we are taking restoring force, means that will become opposite, right? So that's why we written the restoring force. Okay, so first one, the restoring force is equal to mg sin theta. F is equal to mg sin theta. Why we are writing here F? That means restoring force is denoted by F. Then what will equation becomes here? F is equal to mg sin theta. Next line, if theta is small, then what is the theta here? Angle. Then angle is small. Sin theta is equal to or identical to theta, okay, or similar to theta. So sin theta, in place of sin theta we can write theta, in place of theta we can write sin theta. So next phase is F is equal to minus mg into theta, okay. F is force is equal to minus mg means weight, theta is angle. In place of theta we can write as formula. So let us see, theta is equal to arc by radius. Okay, this is formula. That is, if we take a pendulum here, it will shape, that is arc, as x, and length, that is radius. So it means arc means here what we denoted as arc, x, that is displacement, and radius is here what, length, that is L. So theta is equal to what we can write in place of theta, x by L we can write. So next line, F is equal to minus mg into x by L. So we are substituting in place of theta, x by L we are writing, okay. F is equal to minus mg into x by L. Now second force due to attached spring. So we attached a spring in between two pendulums, that is force due to attached spring. So this force is indicated by F2. F2 is directly proportional to displacement, that is we are writing displacement as x. So if we eliminate proportionality, we can take any we can take any constant, that is we are attaching spring, so we are taking spring constant, that is minus k. Here minus is, that is coming in opposite direction, so F2 is equal to minus k into x. So F2 is the force due to attached spring. Next, third is the total net force. So the total, we are calculating the total net force when coupled. Up to second force we are taking only one pendulum. Now we are taking a coupled pendulum, that is two pendulums. For particle P1, here we took two pendulums, that is I am writing here particle, either is okay. For particle P1, F dash is equal to minus mg into x1 by L minus k into x1 minus x2. Here in place, in first point we are taken only one pendulum, that's why I write x only. Here we are taking two pendulums in this third force, that's why I am writing x1 and x2, that is two displacements, okay. So F dash is equal to minus mg into x1 by L minus k into x1 minus x2. Here mg is weight, x1 is a displacement, by L is length, minus k is spring's constant, x1 and x2 are displacements. Next line is for particle P2. Particle P2 means F double dash, okay. F double dash is equal to minus mg into x2 by L minus k into x2 minus x1. So we know that force is equal to m into a. M means mass and a is acceleration. From particle 1, here we can write m into a as m into d square x1 by dt square, right. Acceleration is equal to d square x by dt square we can write. So that's why I am writing in place of acceleration d square x by dt square, okay, is equal to, then is equal to force, no, F dash, substitute this value, that means F dash is equal to what, minus mg into x1 by L minus k into x1 by x2, okay. Next line, in LHS m will be in RHS, so it will divide, d square x1 by dt square is equal to minus m by m into g into x1 by L minus k by m. That means in the LHS m is multiplied, in RHS side m will be in denominator, k by m into x1 minus x2. So we can cancel common terms, that is m by m. In the next step, d square x1 by dt square is equal to m cancel, then minus g into x1 by L minus k by m into x1 minus x2. Then last step is d square x1 by dt square is equal to minus x1 into g by L minus k by m into x1 minus x2. So from particle P we get equation for acceleration, okay. This is equation 1. Then from particle P2, m into d square x2 by dt square is equal to minus mg into x2 by L minus k into x2 minus x1. Okay. Then m will come into RHS side, that is right hand side. So in this side multiplication, so it will come into denominator side. So d square x2 by dt square is equal to minus m by m into g into x2 by L minus k into x2 minus x1. If we solve this equation, we can get equation number 2, that is d square x2 by dt square is equal to minus x2 into g by L minus k by m into x2 minus x1. So this is the equation number 2. So next page, if g by L is equal to omega naught square, in place of g by L we can substitute omega naught square. If we substitute in place of g by L, then from equation 1 becomes like this. What? D square x1 by dt square is equal to minus omega square x1 minus k by m into x1 minus x2. Then we can substitute in equation 2 also. From equation 2, d square x2 by dt square is equal to minus omega naught square x2 minus k by m into x2 minus x1. So these two equations are becoming like this. So this equation can be written as, how it can be written, d square x1 by dt square. So minus omega square term will come into left hand side equation, that will become positive, that is plus term. So plus omega naught square x1 is equal to minus k by m into x1 minus x2. This is the equation number 3. Then fourth equation is d square x2 by dt square minus omega naught square will come into left side, that will become positive. So plus omega naught square x2 is equal to minus k by m into x2 minus x1. So this is the fourth equation. Then left hand side equations are described as simple harmonic motion, it describes. Then right hand side equations are coupling terms. Okay. So next line is comparing by simple harmonic motion. SHM is simple harmonic motion. Standard equation, what we can write here, d square x by dt square plus omega naught square x is equal to 0. So this equation is known as equation of motion of a coupled oscillators. So what is the equation here? Equation of motion, d square x by dt square plus omega naught square x is equal to 0. Next, we have to prove that normal coordinates and normal modes are also, we have to equate them. Okay. First of all, normal coordinates. From particle 1, again we are taking above equations, that is d square x1 by dt square plus omega naught square x1 is equal to minus k by m into x1 minus x2. Here we are already know about diagram, that is pendulums 2, and we attached a spring between them. From particle P2, d square x2 by dt square plus omega naught square x2 is equal to minus k by m into x2 minus x1. If we apply motion, the pendulums, the coupled oscillators will become like this. So now we are taking x1 minus x2 displacements is equal to, we are denoting as capital Y, and x1 plus x2 is equal to capital X. So in place of x1 minus x2 we can write y, and x1 plus x2 is equal to x. Now consider equation 1 is d square x1 by dt square plus omega naught square x1 is equal to minus k by m into x1 minus x2. Here in this x1 we are taking common, so we are writing in bracket here, that is d square by dt square plus omega naught square into x1 is equal to minus k by m into x1 minus x2. So we are indicating this equation as equation number 5. Next, from equation 2, we will use equation 2 here, then it will become x2 common, d square by dt square plus omega naught square into x2 is equal to minus k by m into x2 minus x1. So this equation will become sixth equation. So now we are taking, with the help of equation 1 and 2, we can equate as equation number 5 and 6. Now we are taking these equations addition and subtraction. Okay, first of all we are taking plus equation 5 plus equation 6. Now we will common those terms, that is d square by dt square plus omega naught square into x1 plus x2 is equal to minus k by m into x1 plus k by m into x2 minus k by m into x2 plus k by m into x1 is equal to 0. So these terms are also positive or negative, then we can all cancel it. Remaining d square by dt square plus omega naught square into x1 plus x2, we can write capital X. Okay, capital X is equal to 0. So here it will separate d square x by dt square plus omega naught square x is equal to 0. So this is the equation number 7. Then we are taking subtraction, that is equation 5 minus equation 6. d square by dt square plus omega naught square into x1 minus x2, okay, is equal to, right hand side equation is minus k by m into x1 plus k by m into x2 plus k by m into x2 minus k by m into x1. Here we cannot cancel it because we have minus 2 terms and plus 2 terms. Then k by m will be common here. Then minus x1 plus x2 plus x2 minus x1. Then next line is k by m into 2x2 minus 2x1. d square by dt square plus omega naught square into x1 minus x2 is equal to, 2 will be common here, then I am taking 2 outside, 2k by m into x2 minus x1. Then next step is d square by dt square plus omega naught square into y. Okay, in place of x1 minus x2 we have to write y is equal to minus 2k by m into y. Then here we can write x1 minus x2 is equal to y, but in place of x2 minus x1 we have to write minus y. Okay, d square y by dt square plus omega naught square y is equal to minus 2k by m into y. Okay, next step is we can bring minus term, that is negative term, to the left hand side. It will become positive. d square y by dt square plus omega naught square y plus 2k by m into y is equal to 0. Next we have to write d square y by dt square plus omega naught square plus 2k by m into y is equal to 0. So here in last equation x is coordinate and here y is coordinate. This is number 8 equation. Now we describe the coordinates from equation 7 and 8 are x and y. So therefore x and y are the normal coordinates. Here what is the normal coordinates here? X and y. Then the definition of normal coordinates are the coordinates in which the equation of a coupled oscillator can be described as a linear differential equation, means it has only one. So linear differential equation means it has only one variable, are called normal coordinates. So normal coordinates definition, then we have to find out what is the normal mode frequency. Here we can take as equations d square x by dt square plus omega 1 square x is equal to 0, d square y by dt square plus omega 2 square y is equal to 0. In place of omega naught we are substituting here omega 1 and omega 2. So let's see where omega 1 is equal to omega naught. In place of omega naught we can write omega 1. In place of omega 2 we can write root omega 1 square plus 2k by m. Okay, let's here we can calculate case 1 and case 2. Okay, we attached spring in between the pendulums, right? So it will become 3 cases, that is case 1 and case 2. Case 1 is first case and case 2 we have 2 diagrams. First one, if y is equal to x1 minus x2, that is some displacement, that is same displacement here, y is equal to x1 minus x2. Here x1 minus x2 is equal to 0, that is become is equal to 0. Then minus x2 will become right hand side, that will become positive, that is x1 is equal to x2. Here displacements are equal in this case, that is the length of the spring remains constant. That is if we attach a spring between them, the length is remains constant, that is motion is decided in equation 1 in the same phase. In case 2, we have two diagrams here, that is it can stretch the spring or it can compress the spring. If x is equal to 0, x is equal to x1 plus x2 is equal to 0. So plus x2 will become right hand side, then it will become negative. x1 is equal to minus x2. First one diagram is stretched string, that is second one is compressed spring. Next, the motion is described in equation 2, d square y by dt square plus omega naught square plus 2 by m into k of y is equal to 0. So this is the equation of normal mode frequency. So in this session we discuss two topics, that is coupled oscillator and two coupled oscillator. So I hope you understood. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.